Okay, so let's kind of run through this level now. Talk about sort of. So one of the things that I did was I wanted to break up the silhouette. So instead of having, it's probably easier to show in Photoshop, but basically instead of having just like four. What? Yeah. Okay. Yes, I do like Slack. I like Slack a lot better than Skype. If Slack allowed for like video chat and screen sharing, then it's all I'm going to use. Hey, it's Ripley. How's it going? Yes, I'm using Unity. So anyway, I kind of wanted to just explain the. Man, I'm so annoyed at how slow these new versions of Photoshop are. So basically, previously, the sort of base silhouette was something like so it was something like this. Which I just thought was really boring. So instead, we kind of made it something like... So now each piece is actually more like this, to kind of break up that flow. And you can see that there are, especially for the bottom piece, that sticks out. And then the key is to make sure that the bottom and the top match and connect. So, oops. I can show you guys what I mean by that. If I take this section 4, oh right, so that's actually, I consider that the top, and drag it down. You can see that in section 1, it matches up perfectly. All right, now I want to undo so it goes back. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, the new Photoshop is really slow. All right, so this is the part that I would consider to be the bottom. So I think this area needs to be fixed. First of all, I need to move these stairs inside. I think I forgot to, so now you can see that they're sticking out like that. So I really like the placement of the stairs. I kind of want you to like be standing here. You can walk along. I might extend this out a bit. Interesting. Okay, that side needs to come out a little bit farther. But the idea is like, I want you to be able to stand on the inside and look up and see those. Kind of, because I can't have curved surfaces, so I can't have normal arches. So I have to use the stairs. The back of this needs to be a little more interesting. Kind of just having this corner go in isn't very cool. So this is the first level. We have the second level where I have these windows, and then I have this, these stairs kind of connecting kind of these different rooms. Now, eventually what's going to happen is there's actually going to be a room here. So you can see right now the walls are missing, but there's going to be a door that you can go through. So when you come outside, you can see that there's kind of a bunch of doors here. Now let's climb up to another issue that I don't like about this level right now is that it's very like blue and red gravity centric. From which part of NoClip did people infer flying? Cloud X Prime, is this how the final art is going to look like for release? Yeah, this is like, it'll be something like this. It's gonna look a lot better. But yeah, I kind of want, the edge detection I think is here to stay. Yeah, there's no fly mechanic, I just no clip. This is more for development. Yeah, a no clip where you fall through the world would be impractical. So, right, so now from here you go on to this second level. So, well, I think there should be a level here. Or at least there can be like rooms hidden, you know, you can kind of come in here and then, so this is the inside of this cube, this box is real estate that's not being used. It can be, you know, I can hide a lot of secrets in there. Likewise, this area, there, you know, imagine a window of some room in here and then it takes a while to figure out where you get inside, or maybe you can only access it from outside. So that becomes a you know, an interesting puzzle. How do you get in there? I think I want to keep this section fairly open, though it does defeat... No, I'm going to close it, because I think it defeats the purpose of... There should just be a small door that lets you go outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this path in a lot closer so that the gap here will be much smaller. There'll be a door that you can go outside to kind of this pillar area, but it's not going to be an open area because that is used, you know, here we can have that open area. We're just standing outside looking around. Yeah, I'll make the vignetting configurable. The engine is Unity. And real for is the stream, does changing the stream quality help? Yeah, and I think you can adjust FOV. Like, I'm even gonna let you change the color of the floor because I know some people. Well, if you're colorblind, you know, it's going to be hard to tell certain colors apart, and I know there's a very big difference between different color blindness, types of color blindness, and it's just too hard to pick a single. So I'm just going to be like, here's our 6 colors, and you can map it to whichever one you want. I was doing a lot of most of the programming on this I worked alone on this game for about 2 years, a little over 2 years. And then about 3 months ago, I was backed by Indie Fund and was able to bring... No, much earlier this year, like 6 months ago, I was backed by Indie Fund. I was able to bring on some programmers to help me. Yes, I will change the floor colors. Yeah, I think Explosion 300 is talking about it's Unity. This is like, it's all being built inside Unity. When you make games, you usually use an engine. But we've done like a lot of editor tools on top of that. So this needs to get fixed. I really like kind of this closed off window. Like from the outside, I love having the window kind of pushed in slightly. So that's so far it for the interior spaces. It's like I actually need to make them actual rooms. Some of them can be open, like this one, which is fine. I like that. This is definitely open. I like this kind of open area. And then I would like to close it off again. Like, I want to close it off again here. An open area there. And maybe having a room just right beneath this. So I love the view from here. Although it almost feels very prison-like. Is this going to be level-based or open world? It's going to be much more open world. But open world is a very different. It's not. I mean, there isn't like a city to run around in, right? But because of the world wrapping, you can sort of get around to where you want. There is some gating because there are certain puzzle techniques that do require you to understand some of the other ones first. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of the level right now. I also here remember the stairs. So I made it much. I took out the platform that was sticking out. It did look a little. How would you say it? It looked a little too fragile. I made it a lot skinnier, and there's actually going to be a door, so you can walk in through there. So, or you can come out, but I kind of like, starting to add path to go in and outside of the tower. The one thing that is missing from the other one, from the previous level, which I haven't found a good way to insert, is a set of stairs on the outside. And I think that might be something I'll tackle tonight, but basically, I don't know exactly where I want to put it. But I'd love for there to just be some stairs that allow you to get around. I can't think of where to put a door, though. That is the problem. And it's also like I don't want to ruin kind of the geometry here, but maybe having it isolated in the corner so it doesn't cut across the center works really well. People do... Open world and puzzle game is slightly different. There's no... Yeah, there's like, so you saw how the cubes, you can pick them off trees, you can pick them off trees again if you lose the box, but there is no, I don't have puzzles that force you to reset, so it's not Sokoban, right, because a lot of those puzzles, you can get yourself into a situation where you can revert it back. Replace 2 of the windows on each floor with a door, then use staircase to connect one floor to the next. Maybe one giant door down the center column. All the doors have to be the same size. Are you talking about this window? I really like this window, though. Well, I know there'll be a door here. I don't know. I'm a really big fan of these windows, is the problem. I do think maybe we could take this out. I mean, one thing I could do is bring it... You know what? We should just replace this with the door. Let's deploy to production. I heard that game got really bad reviews. The windows are incredible, so I'm thinking of maybe... now I screwed up the pattern inside there. Where to put the doors? Oh, man. Well, for one thing, we know this needs to be a room on the inside. I think there can be a... You know what? We can put a door right here. Inside here, there ought to be a door. And then that one can climb up to here, maybe. No, I can't have the windows act like doors. The doors have to always be consistent as doors. because otherwise it does break the puzzle mechanic. Well, just the reason why doors and windows should always be predictable is because the game is pretty confusing as it is. And so, with just like all the crazy geometry, so what there are, it really helps players if you kind of stay consistent with things. Because like I can't just have some windows in this. Like if I have windows in this level that opens up, I need to have windows in other levels that open up too, and then that just makes designing that whole thing much more challenging. Yes, designing path is very so. Like one thing I was saying is that this is very biased towards blue and red gravity right now because there aren't really paths designed for when you're walking on the side, which I don't like as much. I can have a cutout. That's true. I don't like the cutouts as much. This I could do a cutout here. I could do a cutout there. So let's have it where this kind of comes in, wraps around, and kind of comes in through there. How about let's put. Okay, let's change this window. I really like this window, but it's in the center, so I think it works well for having a door. We can use that to replace it. Hey, noise pass filter, how's it going? Captain Crunchberry, do you have to be on the floor to switch gravity? No, you don't have to be on the floor. You can be, you just need a wall in front of you, because you want to think of it like you putting your foot up on the wall, so you need something to stand on to. So without, you just need to be standing in front of wall. So the other thing I've been thinking about is like I do want, there should definitely be an opening through the middle. I think that is one of my favorite things, just to fall through it. I would need to close off some areas here. A door surrounded by windows isn't technically possible. What about a box made from windows with doors on the sides, like the horror movie Cube? In Cube 2, one of the characters is a game designer who made a game called Relativity, which is pretty crazy. And of all the deaths in that game, like he had the most favorable death. Okay, so let's just start trying to think about let's just go about placing the stairs for this one. Ah, here it is, actually. We had it from before. One thing you don't like about it is that it wouldn't really fit anywhere. Manger, are you talking about the cube? By the way, BTN Games, how's the stream going? I think you said earlier that it wasn't buffering. New name confirmed, Cube 2, the game. Actually, I think it would be like Cube 4 now. Windows with doors on the sides. Well, designing doors is a bit of a headache, because like if I put a door, it's like, so this door you'd have to come in from, you know, are they open doorways? Well, let's just start putting staircases around, and then see if it, you know, which are the best spots that look the best. Walking on the stairs on the outside always makes me feel a lot like the game Naissance. I don't know if you guys have played it. Lower res. Okay. Well, I think that's really great that Twitch added the stream quality adjustment. Thank you, Twitch. Because that means that then I can stream at 1080 and then people can just change the quality. Maybe I'll get partnered soon. You know what? We should just go ahead and create. Hold on. Let's just create one object with the stairs. Okay, so it'd be like cube 5. By the way, is anybody going to TwitchCon at the end of September? Because I will be there. I'm not presenting or anything, I just thought it'd be... Yeah, I mean, you know, I've been having a ton of fun streaming, and the Twitch community has been really great. So, I know it's the first year they're doing TwitchCon, so I thought it... I actually really prefer conferences and conventions when they're small, because then you can actually get a chance to meet everyone. Alright, so first of all, I want to color things different. So I'm using this tool, it's called Pro Builder. It's a plugin in Unity, and that's how I build all my geometry. And the reason why everything is colored differently is so I can see, so I can make sure that there's no overlapping. Oh, I have to apply for being partner? Yeah, I mean, I don't think my stream is big enough yet. Is this going to be open up for beta testing? So that's... maybe... Probably yes, because I think I will want to, you know, I think that's like doing QA on a budget. My main concern with doing beta testing is, especially with doing puzzle testing, is if you play it now, the final game is sort of ruined for you. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. Like you'll never get to experience the game the way it's intended, which is kind of what really sucks about having being friends with game developers, because then you see games early on and you get feedback, but it does mean you sort of lose a bit of the magic when the game comes out, because you're like, okay, I've seen this before, and it's cool, he fixed this problem, but it's not like, you know, you're not seeing something new for the first time. So that's like, that's kind of one thing that sucks for a game like this, which has been in development for quite a while, is that the people who have been supporting you since the beginning, in some ways they lose out a bit on the intended experience. Well, so Andy James, I am actually taking a break. I am actually taking a break from traveling to shows, just because it's been so disruptive. So I won't. Maybe I'll pick it up again like at the beginning of next year, but mostly it's like I just want to focus. You guys are actually seeing a lot more of the game here on the stream than you would live. You know, no one gets to see behind the scenes, and I don't talk about the specific puzzle designs here. There are just a bunch of developers. We have a really great indie game developer scene here in Chicago. Young Horses, they made Octodad, they're based here. Kevin Zune, their creative director, he's like a walking encyclopedia of games. So he's the guy I go to. So he's the guy for whom Relativity has basically been ruined. And he's done it all for you all. So make sure you make sure you guys thank him, because it's like if I'll have like these big ideas and I'll just spoil it for Kevin, because I need to like see if it's working. Yeah. Oh, is the video of induction is out? Huh. Maybe I should talk to Brian and see if we can get him on the show. You know, do one of the game critiques. I know his game has been, although I think his game is much closer to release now, so it might just be more of like a preview. But still, it'd be cool to have him on. To me, oh, Explosion 3-3. I'm glad that it's just adds to the magic. So, I'm not a big fan of the way this set of this staircase is designed. Let's go in and just take a look at it. It looks a little too even. Oh, there it is. Or maybe not. So, like, I do think walking on the stairs here is, like, a very, very cool thing. I do think it should not be... I think maybe just not have it be so stupidly even. Maybe some kind of variation would... Whoops. Would work well. Let's see. Alright, so let's make this staircase. Exterior staircase. There's going to be a lot of staircases. So, a few things that I know are going to say. I think the outside is more or less there. Let's have some doors. Definitely have this loop in the middle so players can fall through it. And we'll have this exterior staircase. Let's bring all these in. I think also this path needs to be way bigger. Okay, so now what we can do is we can move this whole piece together. Ah, we forgot to add these guys in. Stair set. Oh, BTN Games, are you talking about induction? I haven't seen the... I haven't actually looked at that video. Yeah, we should... Let's try to get Brian on this show sometime. The thing is, I love talking to other puzzle designers. Yeah, what do you guys think of this stairs, by the way? So, like, right now I'm just kind of doing this spiral, and then eventually gonna have it connect up here or here. But I'm not a huge fan of the way it looks super... it looks too clean, I think. Like, I feel like there can be more messiness. What is this game? Divide by sheep. Interesting. How do you guys find out about these games? Do you guys just like browse Steam for puzzle games. I kind of only find out about stuff through Twitter or Reddit. Can I jump from one structure to another? Yes, I can. I can show you. The problem is we do have a bug right now, so it... Oh, so Captain Crunchberry asks, can you walk up... You can walk up walls, but can you walk down over edges? There's no 270-degree turn, but you can do... you can step off backwards. So, and then you can basically do the 270, but you're doing a 90-degree, but you step off backwards. So, I'm gonna answer BTN Games question. There is a bug right now, so it's broken, but I can fall and I can reach anything I can see. Anything I can see, I can get to. There's a bug right now, so there's all this like weird rendering during that transition phase, but it looks like I've made it to the other side. So yes, you can do that. So like, Captain, hey, I am Wibbly, thank you. The Logic Box subreddit has less subscribers than mine. Do I even have? Oh yeah, I do have a subreddit. I think there's 5 people. I never use it though. So Captain Crunch Barry was asking if I can rotate onto this wall that's on the other side, right? No, I can't. Not from here, but you can just fall off and then rotate like that. So that is a bit of an advanced technique. But you never kind of have to do it to solve puzzles, but it does give you a shortcut. So it's definitely something I can see speedrunners using a lot. Whoa. The latest dev post had much troll. Oh, did he just post something? Corporat on Reddit? That is not my Reddit username. The witness in limbo? Oh. Oh, God. Yeah, that is major troll. Oh, that's really cool. Dude, the Witness is like the one game I'm looking forward most to. Like, when that game comes out, I'm not, you know, I'm gonna like cancel all my plans for that week. Alright, so yeah, eventually we want the stairs to reach. Now, the thing is, sometimes the stairs might not get to that level exactly. So actually, we're going up to this path, right? Ugh, I don't know. This might be kind of too long. So what I mean by that is I think this is kind of like a really, really long staircase, which I don't know if it's something that so it's possible that it'll annoy players. Okay, so two things we need to do. First, let's Oops. Let's color this pink and that pink, and then we'll shorten it. So the nice thing with Pro Builder is you can just select a face, and then drag it in like that. So usually what I do is I select the face, and then you do Control Shift, and that snaps it to 1. Am I moving copies of the structure or the player back to a relative position, leaving the structures as they are? There's actually 2 ways to interpret this whole thing. One is that every instance is actually the exact same instance that you're on, in which case the world simply wraps around, so that only one of you exists. The other way of looking at this is that there's the wall. How do I say this? There's actually just an infinite number of copies. So like BTN games, there's an infinite versions of you, but they're all doing the exact same things as what you're doing. So when you take a step to the right, they all take a step to the right. And then when you jump to the next instance, the you that was there before it has jumped to the next instance. So, but I think both of those technically lead to the same. They're different, but they lead to what appear to be the same results. Why not just have a door inset into the side of the cube? The player has to switch to green, yellow to use it. I'm not sure what you are talking about, Captain Crunchberry. When you're talking about the cube, are you talking about this, or are you talking about... I just feel like those stairs are really big. Are you talking about the cubes that I can pick up? Or are you talking about the tower? Oh, what's actually going on in the code? It's combinations of stuff. I don't want to reveal too much about the code right now. But we do make it seem like the large green cubes. Okay. Why don't I make a door here? So you're talking about this large green cube where the stairs start. Why not have a door set? Yeah, there will be a door on the inside here. So you're going to come out from there. There's going to be an opening. Oh, but you know what? No. I got it. Hold on. What I am going to do, though, is just not have it come out here, but actually go to the second one. So you would actually... I think it's a lot more interesting if you come out here and you go end up there, so that this is the piece. Or... No, this would be the piece that is extended. Let me see here. I think a little lower is better, so we're gonna go with... Oh, fuck, I screwed this one up, too. What is... Okay, yeah. So you see, sometimes this happens where I accidentally drag the wrong thing and then it screws up the geometry. Which sometimes happens if you have the wrong face selected. Alright, so now we can move this entire staircase up so that this lines up here. There we go. Or having it... You know what, let's actually, never mind, let's do it this way. Where we just simply have it bend into... It's a running joke that everyone acts super secretive about how the world wrap works. I just don't want another game to use it as well. I mean, it was an antechamber, but no one else has quite done it the same way that it's been done in this game, and I just feel like it's such a major aspect of what makes this game appealing. Oh, no. So the flicker's not a big problem. That's just like something new that got turned out. It like wasn't there before. So we're gonna fix that tomorrow. It was just because like the programmer that wrote that, he pushed the build, he pushed the change like at 5:30, and you know, it's the end of the day. I was, you know, I'm not gonna like make him stay late just to solve this weird problem. Conversing with me leads to confusion if you're not careful. Yeah. Well, there's just we're not using the right terminology. Like when I think of cube, I think of the little things. This is part of corner column 2. So, man, I don't like. I don't like how long this piece is. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete these sections. And instead just have this piece connect here. Okay, so now we're gonna move. All right, so I only needed 2 sets of stairs. So we're actually gonna put it on this level and not on the one above. Oh man, you know what? I just realized I think it'd be great to start the player inside and then have them come out. Okay, so now we've got the stairs on the outside. I'm gonna jump in and just see again. I still don't really like it. Yeah, I feel like it'd be a lot better if it led up to here and it didn't look so geometric. If it didn't look so clean. Logical glitch. For beginners who are just getting started in Unity, what programs would you suggest to use in addition to the engine? You really don't need another program. I mean, I would probably, if you're on Windows, I would recommend using Visual Studios instead of Mono Develop. That's not super necessary. Yeah, like I didn't switch to using Visual Studio until like 6 months ago. In fact, I think maybe it was JetUser that told me to switch. Maybe? Or maybe I'd already been using Visual Studio. You just told me you had the debug thing. Like I don't remember. But I haven't even been using Visual Studio that long. You kind of just need Unity. I think. You might want to use Blender if you're doing some modeling. With ProBuilder, I believe you can UV map, but it's a little more complicated. Okay, this is kind of cool. So I think, yeah, you know what? I think what bothered me about the staircase was mostly it just looked too clean and predictable. And I think what I really wanted was more something like this that was a little bit more messy. And that something that like this that gave you just more view, a better view of the geometry of the level. Because this is like you're not really seeing that much, but here you get to like kind of walk around, and then we can have it come up through. Whew. Oh, you know what? We can have it rest here and then start here again and then come. We can just have 2 sets of stairs. Yeah, no problem. Let me know, Logical Glitch. Let me know if you have other questions. I do think the best way to go about making a game is just to have a project in mind, like make something really simple. Snake. Actually, Snake is kind of hard to do with Unity because that requires the 2D stuff. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this staircase kind of connect up to this green piece up here, and then I'm going to have another staircase that takes this and goes up to here, kind of, and it would cut across the front of this column, and I think that would just give it a lot more variety and not have it look so predictable. Alright, let's make this a little shorter. So Q-Bird, however... is that supposed to be a Snakebird joke? I would go for something really, really small. Like, I thought this was going to be this was supposed to be a practice project before my Cyberpunk MMO project, and I thought I would be done in 3 months, and as I've been saying, it's now almost 3 years. So I started the game in November 2012, over Thanksgiving weekend, and now it is July 2015. So you might start a game thinking it's super tiny, and then find yourself 3 years later talking to Sony, and then worrying about, you know, worrying about weird PlayStation 4 optimization issues. Ah. Okay, so here's this other problem that I don't like. Alright, so, and this is something that I still haven't figured out a good solution for. What the? Alright, so, if you look at this, eventually we're going to have this platform, and it is going to be, it's going to have to connect like this. Alright, so this platform is going to connect with this larger one. And we can move this entire staircase up. But I really don't like the way it looks down here. You know, because that means that it's like... That means that the set of stairs is biased towards blue. I mean, it is blue because that's where the opening is going to be. But it's like, why shouldn't it be... Why shouldn't it work this way, right? Why shouldn't we make it line up along this side and then have the opening, have the door be on that side? That's something else to consider. Snake-a-ban? English Century 2 Vice. Infinite runners are pretty easy. In fact, we will be looking at an infinite runner on Friday. Noise pass filter. I am glad to hear that you prefer Relativity over any Cyberpunk MMO. Actually, something I have not told you guys is that Relativity actually is a Cyberpunk MMO. And I will release it. It's going to be a survival Cyberpunk MMO in early access, and I will never actually finish it. I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that. Okay, so like this is another interesting idea, right? Which is making it work this way. And then having... Okay, so here we go. Right, and then I would have the door, so it's really a red staircase. And I think I like that. I like that a lot more, because it doesn't look as... And I can always make another set of stairs going from here to there. But I like the way this looks, because it doesn't look as clean. So now what we want is... Oh, so now this is a little tricky, because I would need it to line up perfectly. So one way we can do it is... Okay, and actually now I want to rotate back to this side. So I think this might be too confusing. Okay, so actually I want this to connect to that set of stairs. So what I'm going to do is rotate this. We're going to keep it this way. Here's one. Okay, right. So let's go ahead and... So I think what's great is it's sort of breaking up this pattern. Like, not always having it turn left, but sometimes having it turn right. Text tutorials. I thought you were talking about text tutorials in games, which I think are awful, but text tutorials for Unity are really wonderful. Thank you, Girlax. Oh, another tip for watching video tutorials is on YouTube. You can watch it at 1.5 speed, which is really nice because a bunch of the Unity tutorials, like the recent ones for Unity 5, they pretty much only have video. at least explaining it, and watching them at 1.5 speed is really handy. Especially if you like are already familiar with the engine, and you're just like, I don't need you to explain everything. So that's kind of all I do now. I wish they had that for Netflix as well. I'm sure as I said that, a bunch of people just thought, oh, I wish you could watch this stream at 1.5 speed. Qbird. The portal space the MMO NPCs go to when the PCs are not around. Okay, I have no idea what Ed Riofer is talking about. Snakebird technically had portals. So Portal Snake is actually just a mechanic inside Snakebird. Oof. Let me see if this... Obviously, I'm not going to just have them go straight up, but I want to see if the number of units is going to line up. Yikes. I think I'll probably have to add like a few additional pieces. Yeah, I'm off by just 1 unit. I mean, certainly another thing I could do is always just lower this area slightly, which is actually not that big of a deal. There's also going to be a room here, but let's ignore this for now and just see what this entire thing incorporated into the space looks like. So Mainjai, you beat Snakebird? Wow. I'm impressed. What's your total hour count in the end? How many hours did it take? Alright, so let's add this wrappable. Okay, we do that. Now let's just take a look at how these stairs look. I do think it's a lot better. It's a lot more. It looks like there's some level of randomness, which I think is a very nice touch. 19 hours. 15 and a half. Though that's self-reported. You can't believe those numbers. You can't trust those numbers. Ooh. Yeah, see, I love... Okay, see, so there needs to be bends, right? Because without the bends, you can't... Without having the corners, you can't see it. You know, the thing is, I like, had to reinstall a bunch of things and I lost my Snakebird save. Right, so in this one, we would actually have the door, right? So like, really we're thinking of having the door on the red side. So you'd come out. So actually what this means is I need a bend right away. Because without it, you can't really see. Or maybe I don't. Huh. Well, that looks lovely though. Yeah, I like this. You can ask him. You should ask John how long it took him to beat. I think he only played it on the stream. Right. Yeah, I really like how these stairs look. I don't know, what do you guys think? Are you guys fans of the stairs? You know what I mean by the corners, so that there should be a bend first, so that you can see the stairs from the side. Because if you just look at it this way, you can't see it. No, I mean, I was just thinking you can just ask him on Twitter. But, yeah, what do you guys think of the stairs? They're great? Okay. We're gonna, you know, obviously I need to make them on all 4 sides, too. So that's the other thing that's interesting about this. It's like, do I... How much, should it be symmetrical on all 4 sides? 30 hours! Wow. Right, I am, you know what, I think this is, okay, I think we figured out more or less where the stairs should be. It's gonna need some tweaking. I definitely don't want this, like, straight path of stairs. So we'll add some bends, but I like that you can kind of walk around the tower and get to see a whole bunch of stuff. Really, really like that aspect of it. Tomorrow we'll continue working on this, and we'll work on some of the interior areas. So right now there's no colliders on these windows, so I can just walk through them. So definitely keeping the gap opening kind of open, but I think there should be kind of also interior columns just to make this more interesting from the inside. And then also, so you know, when you're falling through, that there's sort of a constant change. And like this part, there's not a whole lot happening, and I think there should be more more variation. I think there's a bit of a jump. Yeah, right there. Windows will not be doors. I guess they're not even doors. They're just like there's nothing. They're not even doors. There's just an opening. So okay, what I'm going to do next is add the stairs to all 4 sides. And the stairs will be interesting because they'll actually be the first thing that is not reflectively symmetrical. You can see everything, you know, split it down the middle is symmetrical, right? But this is not, because it actually it bends towards the right. So that would be something to so that's kind of an interesting thing to start adding. Well, I will add colliders, so there'll be walls. The windows really are walls. But yeah, thank you all for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, you know, make sure to follow. Because I think maybe Twitch is like seeing more people watching, and that's why they gave me the source, allowing people to choose quality. Tomorrow we're gonna come back. I might do some work during the day and just kind of add the stairs on all 4 sides and tweak it a bit. Tomorrow we'll come back and we'll work on the interiors. I hope to finish this level by the end of the week. It's not even going to be fully finished because there won't be any puzzles inside. This is eventually going to be a room. You can see the yellow blocks are marked out to be windows. And I also want to tweak this just to lower it a bit. Ed Riofer, yes, what is your question? Hey, Captain Crunchberry, thank you for watching. What happens if you're on a pathway and 2 railings that are narrower than your height? I don't let you change. I don't let you switch. I do like ray detection to the point, like if you're standing here and you shoot here and that is a lot closer, I shoot 1 ray to the wall, I get the normal, and then I shoot another ray out to make sure that there's enough room for you to rotate. I have this like sound effect, which I don't really like. So I might need another way to communicate that to the player. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and save this. And yeah, thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And yeah, also let people know about the stream. I think there's I think today was actually the highest number of viewers. At one point, it was like 37, which is super awesome. Hey, Cube. Yeah, I did not go to Bit Bazaar, not this time. I'm not gonna travel too much. But yeah, and thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. I know there's a ton of stuff you guys could be doing, so I really, really do appreciate it. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.